Okay, it's time to cut. What? That's right. That's right.
So Big Cass shows up at Lariato Pro Wrestling shredded like a gladiator with Enzo by his side, who is also in pretty good shape. And of course, this leads to the internet buzzing about whether these two guys should get another chance, another crack at the WWE apple. And people are saying, hey, do you think that Enzo and Cass should be hired back to the WWE? Do you think they should go to AEW? Do you think they should go to Impact? Do you think Ring of Honor should pick them up? And I say, before you talk about the future, you got to talk about the past, baby. You got to talk about why these guys got fired in the first place. Let's go in chronological order, one at a time. January 2018. Enzo is fired from the WWE over a rape accusation in Arizona. Apparently, he was accused of rape, didn't tell WWE, and they fired him. In May, they found out that there was either A, evidence that the sex was consensual, or B, insufficient evidence, which is what TMZ says, that there was insufficient evidence according to the Phoenix Police Department. So Enzo was not going to go to jail. November 2018. Enzo shows up at Survivor Series in a costume to make noise and try to steal the show. He stands up and starts doing his "and you can't teach that" shtick in the crowd very loudly and gets ejected in the middle of Survivor Series. This is not a storyline. This is bad. April 2019, Enzo and Cass both decide to pop up at ROH and New Japan's G1 Supercard event, where they make, again, a big deal. They start a fight. Only person who knows is Bully Ray, who was in on it. Guerrillas of Destiny, who are in the ring, have no idea what's going on. Everybody on Twitter is buzzing about it. Enzo claims it's an angle. ROH didn't contact him to talk about it. So nobody knows it's an angle except him and Bully Ray. And nothing happens. Apparently some people were so pissed that they decided not to do business with them anymore. Surprise, surprise, and Guerrillas Destiny was so unhappy. Following this, Joey Janela decides to tweet out that Enzo makes a mockery of the wrestling business. So July 2019, Enzo decides to fight Joey Janela at a Blink-182 concert. And let's be honest, if you go to a Blink-182 concert, you deserve to have your ass whooped. November 2019, he continues his rants on Ring of Honor, claiming that the Ring of Honor was scared of a couple of weirdos on Twitter, and that if that's all it takes to run people off, he has decided not to go into work in the company anymore. August 2020, Enzo decides to go on tour with the WWE Cruiserweight title, claiming he is going to defend it on the Indies. Of course, once this kind of hits the internet and it starts buzzing, he backs down and says, hey, brother, it was just a rib. It was just a rib, brother. Claimed, oh, I was just hanging out with Gallows and Anderson with the belt. I wasn't really going to defend it on the Indies. Now, at least in 2020, he at least did something nice when he went and he delivered a pizza to a fan in person. I thought that was very nice. I don't think Enzo is a bad guy. I just think he's a fucking idiot. He's just a fucking idiot. But an even bigger idiot is he's 7 foot tall and you can't teach that. Let's go back in our Wayback Machine once again. June 2018, right in the middle of a fucking push, Big E gets himself fired. Why? Well, multiple different things. One, he was drunk during the European tour and acted a fool. Claimed he broke, so he did some property damage, had a really bad attitude. He also apparently abused a little person during a segment on SmackDown where he was only supposed to kick the guy once, and yet he kicked him multiple times and then stood on his throat. Yep, he did that. 2019, Big Cass has a seizure at the House of Hardcore show. He said he had alcohol withdrawals. It was recorded and put up on YouTube. September 2019, Cass shows up at Russell Pro, the farewell show for the owner, Pat Buck, who was leaving to go join WWE, and Big Cass threatened to beat the shit out of Joey Janela. Why? Because Joey Janela got into a fight with Enzo Amore. He was backstage acting a fool. He was erratic. He was aggressive. He accused people of stealing from him and threatened to fight a bunch of other people. Apparently, Pat Buck spit in his face, and he had to be wrestled to the ground before being arrested and carried away from the building. So that's what we're dealing with when we're talking about Enzo and Cass. We're talking about, and then of course I didn't even mention that the vague rumors floating around about Cass and Carmella. All right, those are just rumors, and nothing has been, as far as I know, made solid. So that's what we're dealing with when we talk about Enzo and Cass. Talk about these guys got more baggage than Paris Hilton. Do we really need them? Or is their talent, what little of it they had, was it really so much that we have to deal with this? Now, I'll say, be quite honest, and be fair. They were a great tag team. They were a great pair. They had a great shtick. Enzo can talk his ass off. Cass knew how to make himself get over. He knew how to be a big guy. You can't take one without the other one because, to be quite honest, one without the other one is pretty much useless. All right? You can't take Cass without Enzo because Enzo got all the goddamn charisma. Can't take Enzo without Cass because Cass is the one that got the size. He's the one that makes the shit real. Okay? Enzo can't wrestle himself out of a wet paper bag with a razor blade. It's not going to happen. Now, me personally, if I were Tony Khan, would I be considering bringing in Enzo and Cass? Probably. Just for the shock value, if for nothing else. I think it would be great for shock value, and Tony Khan likes the hot shot, so why wouldn't he? Why not? It wouldn't do him any harm. If you're Impact, you should be begging them. You should be throwing rose petals at their feet, begging them to come to Impact. If you're Impact, you should be begging them. If you're Ring of Honor, you should probably be begging them. You should be apologizing for not going with the angle before and say, "Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Please come in. Please, please, please. We need energy in this show." If you're NXT, you would be thinking about it. Now, Triple H has has gone on record as saying he's not really interested in Enzo. That has nothing to do with Cass, but he said he's not really interested in Enzo. So, what do? If you're Vince McMahon, who believes in second chances, guys have been drunk before and acted crazy. Well, do you trust the guy now? The guy has a history of depression, suicidal thoughts, aggression. He also has had confrontations with people who still work there, like Pat Buck and apparently Carmella. What do you do? I mean, Enzo he was just so disliked by most people due to his personality. And I didn't even go through all of the stuff about them getting in trouble backstage. There's no real reason for that. This is just stuff that you can Google, right? And this stuff that I had in my memory bank, so some of it I had to go back and relearn. I mean, I am not against Enzo and Cass. If they were to return, I would say that would be great, right? It would be a big thumbs up, but it wouldn't be long before the shtick runs off and people are kind of like, okay, they're basically a nostalgia act, even though they're modern nostalgia. You know, it would be like the New Age Outlaws showing up again in like 2004, right? Except for they're not that far off. These guys are only like 32 and 33 years old apiece, if we're being honest. They're young guys, you know? So they're not, 38, 39 or something like that. Cut, bait, run. These guys are in their early 30s. They were in their early 30s when they were fired. So I'm on the fence, personally. Despite the fact that I sound like I don't like them, I'm on the fence. Because I understand that you need characters on this show. And they don't necessarily have to be the best guys in the world. You need people who can do things. Enzo can talk. That's the strength. That's really what people want to see. People really want to go through and see Enzo do what Enzo do, talk his game, smack talker Skywalker do all of his cool shit. That's what everybody wants. And Cass to put the exclamation point on it and then put people down. That's what people want to see. People want to see both of them. Can't make the decision without one without the other one. That's why I think if I'm Impact or if I'm Ring of Honor, I got them on the phone like, look, I'm willing to give you a shot. If you're Vince, you don't really need them. You don't like tag teams anyway. You know, what you do? You put Enzo and Cass in there, with the Street Profits once, twice, 3 times, and then what? Then what? You break them up again? Put one on Raw, one on SmackDown again? Now, I'm not saying they don't have value. They sold a lot of t-shirts. They sold a lot of merchandise. They were very, 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 very popular. I think that they could still be popular because their shtick still works. Everybody likes call and response. Everybody loves it. It works in music. It works in wrestling. But they got a lot of baggage. They got a lot of baggage. A lot. And sometimes some people might think that it's not worth it. And I can completely understand if you think that it's not worth it. But let me know what you think. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, use the hashtag 3commentaries to support the channel. Also, send me cash via Cash App. It will be in the comment section below. Thank you guys for the time, and I'll talk to you guys later.